Hola! How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Keeping It Shrimple, episode number 41. The crowd goes wild. All three of you. Well, seven. But welcome. It's good to be hanging out. Get to geek out, talk some shrimp, talk some fish, aquariums, Aquashella, of course, and the shrimp contest because I'm such a nerd. And yes, I get to be a judge, so I'm all super excited and giddy about it. So let's see. We got Eduardo. What's up, brother? He came in at 6:33. Frank Santa, all the way from NYC. Good evening, Frank. Scott's Aquatics. Hello, I love shrimp. And Ka. Is it Ka or K? I always get that confused. So might as well ask, right? So I don't continue to say it wrong. Hello. What's up, Dennis? How you doing? Mandy, hello. Good to see you. Time to shrimplify it up in here. There you go. Yeah, I mean, Dee Dee, the latest victim of the shrimp addiction and multi-tank shrimp syndrome, multi-shrimp tank syndrome, MSTS. We have a different form of multi-tank syndrome when you're a shrimper. Take Grant, for example. I mean, he just keeps on keeping on. And wow, good for him. I wish, I so wish, but hey, it's all about keeping it shrimple. So it'll get there one of these days. Thanks to all of you. Keep me shrimping, make it fun, make it to where I can always do this.
I love shrimp. Who else loves shrimp? I love shrimp. Who else loves shrimp? I love shrimp. Who else loves shrimp? I love shrimp. Who else loves shrimp?
I didn't mean to do that. Oops. Now I know how Brian feels. I was about to say something and I cut myself off. That's fun. Who else came in here? Jeff Kane, hello. How you doing, brother? And Dee Dee saying hello to everybody. We got 13 people. I'll let everybody start kind of trickling in before I get into anything too deep. I don't know if any of you got on the morning show, members only stream. That was fun. We lasted 4 hours. I think it was 4 hours of streaming. And the last 2 hours of it was Eduardo. He had a lot to say. It had been a while, I guess, since he'd been on a stream. I don't know. But he had a lot to say. It was fun. And then we talked afterwards for a little while. But yeah. So it's been, I got up in time to catch Joe's stream. I've been having issues sleeping. So I did get up in time to catch Joe's stream, a little bit of it anyways. And he's stressing out, poor guy. I didn't stay as long as y'all. I succumbed to a nap. Yeah, well, that's what I said. He lulled everybody to sleep when he kept on talking and talking. I was, no offense, Eduardo, but you had a lot to say. We couldn't get much in edgewise. They say if it lasts more than 4 hours, you should consult a doctor. Right? Hey, Bunny, how you doing? Shelby, I'm so looking forward to the contest. Y'all have done such an awesome job. And I'm sorry I messed up the categories. So I'm going to go over that tonight. I'm going to replay the video that I did, but I'm going to explain the updates that needed to happen that apparently weren't on the website when I took that information off the website. So it's nothing major. It's just there's one category of Neocaridina, and that covers all of them. You know what I mean? Hey, Atkins. Ian, Brookley Bell, hello. Cool. See, people are starting to fumble in here. I love shrimp. Who else loves shrimp? Matt, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Thank you very much. Is both Grant in here? Did I miss Grant? Did I only caught Shelby? Oh, there he is. Hey, what's up, Grant? Cool deal. Yeah, I did miss it. It jumped on me or something. yeah, I'm looking forward to the contest. It's going to be fun. And just to clarify, I have to go over what I messed up in the video. It was funny because when I did it, Grant sent me a message like 5 minutes after, maybe 10 minutes after I published it. And he was like, "Hey man, categories are wrong." I was like, "Dope. Oops." Oh well. But see, that way I can keep you engaged because you got to stay in tune with all of the updates. So stay tuned to all of the shrimp channels and everybody who's involved with it, and everybody will go into this well informed, right? Right. There you go. I'm just laying in the door relaxing. Well, good for you, Matt. Good for you. Yeah, I hope everybody's doing good. Everybody's staying safe. Everybody's staying cool. Um, it depends on where you are in the country, I guess. And I guess relative to your area, it's hot everywhere, kind of. So this has been rough. I have a friend going through some issues right now, and I don't think the heat is helping. So I hope it goes away. Please, 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 by some miracle. I hope it gets better sooner than later. That's all I got to say. Hey, Carrie, how you doing? Good to see you. Jeff, hola. I was talking about you today on the members only stream, talking about the shirts, talking about money. I know we got to get that taken care of because I also want to get some I Love Shrimp shirts printed up for Aquashella. I want to have both of the shirts there. I think that'd be cool. It was 101 degrees there yesterday. And what's it normally? Because it's been like yesterday, it was 109, which was a record high for Dallas Fort Worth. The day before, it was 109, which missed the record by 1 degree. So I saw something that it was supposed to get to like 115 today in some areas. I mean, that's ridiculous. Whew. The heat needs to go away. I mean, I don't mind hot. I'm used to hot because here in Texas, we get hot, but this is a little bit extreme. It's made things a little bit different. We did do some shipments this week to areas that were less than 90 degrees. And if the places were over 90 degree or 95 degrees, I think it was 90 degrees or 95, I don't know. It had to be overnight next day. So, and we used ice packs and tried to make sure we packaged them in a way that they'd stay cool longer. So far, I think most of the orders arrived okay. I haven't heard any word otherwise. Aquashella is going to be nice and moist this year. Speaking of, I hope I have a strong stream. Yeah, that's for my buddy Johnny, if he's listening. we There's a local radio station around here called The Ticket, and it's actually a national syndicate show, but it's a sports radio show, and that's what they're talking about now when they talk about their streams and make sure they've got good flow to the stream. So that's kind of where we get that joke from. Anyways, on to bigger and better things. Paul McCarthy, hello. Good to see you in here. Down to 85 now in coastal Connecticut. That's good. It's just been hot. And the wind is strong, so it's weird to have wind that's like it's like having a heater on with a big giant fan in front of it. It's just blowing hot air. It's not cool and refreshing. It's just heat. Disgusting. But yeah, it's made for some interesting challenges, especially shipping orders. Like I said, I have Dee Dee shrimp that she ordered that I'm holding because I don't want to chance it. So I'll get those shrimp to you, Dee Dee. No, hot air is Eduardo, right? Boom, boom. There he is. Hey there, Texas is in the house. That's not very nice. We love our Dee Dee. I know we do. I didn't say it, you did. But no, the hot air is just, it's bad. I feel bad if you don't have AC. That it's got to be rough. That's got to be a horrible thing. And it is, to be honest, I am trying to figure out ways to keep the fish room a little bit cooler. I'd like to drop it like probably about 4 to 5 degrees somehow. Um, I think it'd be better. Everything would be better. The shrimp definitely would be better. Um, so that's the hard part about running the fish room the way we have it in one space where all of the tanks are, temp controlled by the room. So like the tanks that don't have lids on them, like where I have red root floaters, that water is really, really cool to the touch. But the tanks on the top with the lids on them, they're still, you can tell they're kind of warm-ish. And the water that feeds into the aquariums is outside portion that's uninsulated. And so that big 250-gallon reservoir is feeding water that's whatever the temperature is out there, which is pretty darn hot, despite all the paper and pallets of boxes and everything that's back there. Um, so yeah, it makes me wonder, and I think I'm doing more to try to keep the water fresh now with the higher temps, which I think is a good thing, but it does make it a little bit of a challenge even in the fish room, trying to control the temp. They're different from the bottom tanks to the middle tanks to the top tanks. It's all different levels of temperature, whether they're 20 gallons to 40 gallons, 20-gallon longs, the 9 gallons, the 10 gallons. All the different aquarium sizes have different, they don't all stay exactly the same, especially, like I said, the ones on top are a little bit warmer. It's crazy. But I'm at my best to try to keep the water fresh. Tomorrow we're getting in a huge order of plants, and I know it's because we want to get them in the tanks and get them start transitioning before we take them all out to Aquashella, because we're going to have plenty of plants. We're going to be so busy. It's fun. It's going to be exciting, but we're definitely going to be busy. Good thing this year is that the Jadron Aquatics booth will occupy 2 booths worth instead of just one, so there'll be plenty more space to be spread out because it was pretty packed last year. And then I look forward to, I really want to do a better job of filming the contest, the shrimp, the judging, the contestants. I'd like to give them some recognition, or at least, whether they want to show their face or not, at least talking about their shrimp and stuff like that. I just want to do a better job of that part of it. I think I did okay last year, but I want to do better this year. And then getting to be a judge is going to be really fun and exciting. Hopefully we have a big turnout, 30 plus contestants. It'd be great if we had 50 tanks full of shrimp. That'd be awesome. So I don't got to do it, right? I know, yours one that you did last year was really good. And I was like, man, I missed the opportunity. Every year, Grant, I do something, I forget. Like I'll think I'm recording and I'm walking around getting all this, what I think is good footage. And then I'll hit pause and I'll start walking around. And when I go back to look at what I recorded, it's all the shots of me walking around. So I still make rookie mistakes when I'm at Aquashella and I forget. And then having a vendor's booth as well. It's just, I'm still a rookie. I consider myself still a rookie, so I'm learning. but with the heat, probably won't get 50. Yeah, I know. 100 would be awesome. And the heat thing sucks. That it's going to make people timid. Definitely going to make people not want to stand out in line. Hopefully, they have like massive AC blowing through that market center. I just saw on Facebook a little commercial promo thing that Brett Raymer did from Tanked. That's pretty cool. Um, I had a blast meeting him last year. He's so approachable, and he's just like he is. He's the same guy that you've seen on Tanked, and I was a big fan of Tank. That's why I was so excited to help at Ohio Fish Rescue, because I saw that episode of them installing the Bellagio tanks. So that's kind of cool to be a part of that, something that I watched on TV and then be there to move the Bellagio tanks and stands at Ohio Fish Rescue. That was really cool. Who else popped in here? I saw Ricky De Hoyos. What's going on, brother? Street Trash. Yo. What's going on? Who else snuck in here? Let me see. Jamie A. Good to see you. Daniel Velez. I think I got cut up. I said, "Oh, hi Gina, how you doing? What y'all want from McDonald's? A Big Mac, French fries, and a Coke." I know, but I'm old school. I told my son, I even worked at McDonald's when I was a kid. It was one of my first jobs, so I've always had a love for McDonald's. I don't know, calling me silly, but maybe that's why I had to go get surgery. All the Big Macs I ate. I got 20-ish fish from Foxy today. All survived, and the box was not hot. She sent it with instructions for the post office to hold and call us. Yeah, and that's where I think the difference is. See, last year we used the post office for our deliveries. Then Jason changed to UPS and UPS only. And this summer, I mean, we didn't have this problem but this summer, seeing now that when I deliver at 6 o'clock in the evening, it's usually 6 o'clock when I leave to go to the UPS store. And I go there through the back, not the front. Jason always went through the front when he used to do it. So I go through the back. And what I noticed is that when I go in there and stack the box, they take it in, they scan it, and the driver puts it on his truck while he's waiting for all the rest of the packages for him to load his truck and then go to the dispatch center. Well, I'm sitting there thinking, man, coming out of my car that I only let cool off for maybe 10 minutes, which isn't enough in a black car in 105, 110 degree temperatures. The boxes felt warm to me. And then putting them in the office, they didn't really stay in that AC before they got put on a truck that's probably 120 some odd degrees. And now that's a whole different environment. Whereas the post office, you're delivering in a temperature controlled facility, and before they get put on a truck isn't till the next morning, basically. Or, the opportunities are less, and you can hold them there at the location. So yeah, it's, who knows, but kind of it is one of those things. We see some of the others that do it and do it right, that swear up and down by UPS. So that's kind of the way we went as well. I've been eating garbage, but it's steaks tonight. We buy 2 sets of steaks once or twice a month to make up for all those beans, rice, and ramen the rest of the month. Right? Hey, you got to do what you got to do. I've learned to kind of cheat the way that I cook. I love cooking still, but if I can cheat it, I will. There's all kinds of different things to do to make it a quick cooked meal that's cheap, inexpensive. So let's see here. I'm going to find this video. so we can talk about the shrimp contest. I don't know. Is Brian on here? Brian, are you going to come on the stream tonight? Or I haven't heard from you. Where are you at? Are you listening? Are you lurking? Hell, Grant, you ought to come on here. We're talking about the contest. Let me see where did I put it? I don't remember where. Oh, in the video file. There we go. Can you hear me now? How about now? How about now? Anybody? Give me a thumbs up or something. Yes? No? Okay. So I don't know what happened there. Sorry about that. Let me try it. I want to try it again with more caution. I don't know why it did that. Maybe I'm getting a lag or something. It's the solar flares, or it's that comet that's flying out there. Have you seen that on YouTube? There's a channel that's live streaming that comet. That's pretty cool. Hi, Nicole. I'm back. Cool. Welcome back. Oh, wait. I'm showing my age. No, I don't think this video is going to. It's because Mercury is in retrograde. Okay. I believe that. Yeah. I don't know why it's not pulling. Maybe the video file, maybe the video file is too high. Like I said before, I don't think I can do video shares if they're HD. They have to be like 720. There we go. Wait. So I'll do a little bit of play and pause. So the contest is $25 per group of shrimp if you're going to enter. And when you pay for the $25, even if it's just one group, you get your entry to Aquashella. You can't take you and your wife. You got to pay for your wife or your girlfriend or vice versa, husband, boyfriend, whatever, partner, kids, whatever it may be, grandkids. You know, you still got to pay for that. But it gives you your free entry as a contestant and participant. You get entry into Aquashella. Um, don't need no music. These right here, this is where I messed up. So I had put that Neocaridina category 1 and 2 between solids and realies, and now it's just one category of all Neocaridinas, and then the other 5 Caridinas are Caridina, whether it's the crystals, Taiwan bees, tiger variants, the crossbeat breeds and hybrids, and the eye morphs. So any of the orange eye morph shrimp category, that's a new category. So 4 Caridina categories, 1 Neocaridina category. That was where I messed up on or was not updated on the site. Hopefully it's updated soon, but at least now, hopefully there's clarity. Better. Is that better? Does everybody understand how that works? If you're a shrimp nerd like I am, yeah, it makes sense. But if not, ask questions. That's, hopefully I want everybody, the whole thing is that don't be intimidated by the categories as much as if you got some pretty shrimp and you want to show them off, do it. It'll be fun and it pays your way into Aquashella. What if you actually win something? Like Jess last year from the Aquatic Morning Show, she did her shrimp and she was like, I don't know, I'm just going to try it. And she did. She got second place and she had a blast doing it. So, hey, what's up, Kenny? Danikin Aquatics in the house. Lefty 3213A. A lot of numbers. Sketty, what's going on? How you doing? Skull Aquatics, hello. Sorry about the little technical difficulties, but whoa. So all the solids and then all the patterns Neos are competing. Yeah, basically all the realies and solid body color will be competing against in one category. I don't know. And that is going to be interesting to judge because if it's a really solid, tight, really pattern that has the solid coloration, clear and solid coloration, it's going to be hard not to kind of favor that one versus a solid color. But it really depends because one of my favorite Neos was one that was yellow, but it didn't have like a see-through yellow. It was more almost like if the back stripe was the entire shell. If that makes sense. You know how the back stripes have a more creamy coloration to them. That's how the entire yellow shrimp was. And I thought it was sweet. But that's my personal opinion. And we get that. Besides all of the, formal parameters that we're judging these shrimp on, we also get a personal, this is what our personal reasons for giving that shrimp a judge's, I don't know, it gives us a little bit of our own opinion versus just what's in the categories and all the different characteristics that we're judging on. Hope that makes sense. Hope I didn't confuse it, make it worse. So then maximum of 2 sets of shrimp per category. So if you wanted to, there's 6 categories. You could enter 12 sets of shrimp at $25 a set. Okay. I mean, that's up to the individual. If you want to do that, great, but that's what we have. And the group requirement, what consists of a group for entry, is 3 to 5 shrimp of both sexes. If there are more than 3 shrimp in a group, the best 3 shrimp are judged. If more than 5 shrimp are provided, the excess shrimp will not be put into the contest aquariums. and it says size a half inch for the shrimp is required, which I believe last year it was 3/4 of an inch. Grant, if you're still here, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe last year it was 3/4 of an inch. Whatever the measurements are, we have little tools to use to measure them with. So, and like I said, I'm trying to give everybody at least an idea of how it works. So that way, if even if you're not going to be there, you can send your shrimp in, which I'll be getting to a little bit here. Let's see, is it playing? Yep, it's playing. Oh yeah, shrimp with parasite infestation results in the entire group being disqualified. This will be determined by the lead judge, which I believe, I'm not sure. I thought it was Eric Lucas. Maybe it's Joe. I don't know. Joe's got a lot going on right now. If buried shrimp are entered that release their offspring during the contest, the participant has no right to claim the offspring after the event. Just you have to put these rules in there. I let them take care of any of those. That's what Grant and Shelby do, and Rob and the lead judge, Eric or Joe. You can ship them, and that's where this becomes, I think, interesting. So if you want to ship your shrimp in and get them in, I think that's, why not? Have a little bit of fun, even if you can't make it to Aquashella, you know. And I've seen several that get shipped. It's a good way to participate, even if you can't make it out there. So I encourage you. There's the rules about what needs to, and there, all of this I pulled from the website, so you can go back and read through. This, you ship them to address to Robert Lupton from Flip Aquatics at the American Shrimp Contest. They're at Dallas Market Hall, and they start accepting on Wednesday, August 3rd. You have to have them in by, I believe it's 5 p.m. on Friday. Grant and Shelby will take care of all of the category stuff. We're not, as a judge, we're not allowed to know whose shrimp is whose. So do not give us your shrimp if you bring them in person. Let's see. I bet gold yellow wins solid and blue takes patterns. My personal preference. I love blue. So yeah, always, but that's why I like the fact that we get a little judges section to judge on. It's not necessarily gonna, I don't think really change the outcome because it's such a small section compared to everything else. But at least it's nice to be able to add your own little personal preferences. Is it Caridina for soft water? Yeah. Caridina, any of the pure red lines, pure black lines, red crystal shrimp, the tiger shrimp, such as tangerine tigers, orange eye, blue tigers, any of the pinto, like King Kong, pandas, shadow pandas, the crossbreeds like the fish bones and the galaxies and the boas, and those are all the different, I mean, there's so many, more and more, but yeah, there's a lot of Caridina. You shipped your plants. I get it. But anyways, so yeah, we don't get to participate or anything like that. So don't give us your shrimp. We don't need to know who's entering what. That's the only way we can be fair. And I took this picture from last year up on stage when we got our little Aquashella plaques for being judges. And of course, that's Joe on the left side, me in the middle, and Erik on the right-hand side. And it's kind of cool that it'll be us again this year. It'll be a honor to work with these guys and try to absorb as much information and knowledge as I can. It's always fun. They know so much. They do a lot, and I always try to learn as much as I can from them while I got them right there in my presence, and ask lots of questions. You know, lots of questions. Ask lots of questions. Off topic, but are you able to play your drums in a new living situation? I'd go crazy without mine. I'm going crazy. Even my son was talking about it. He's going crazy because we don't get to just jump on the drums. That was such a, I don't know, I mean, such a added benefit of what we were living in was that my drums were right there. I could just get up and start playing whenever I wanted to, and I didn't have to worry about bothering the neighbors. So yeah, I miss it. I miss it bad. And when I don't have that, then I dive my focus into shrimping. But now that everything is over there at the shop and 60 miles away from me, yeah, I have a hard time. You know, it's rough to go there every day, which I want to, but like today I didn't go. But tomorrow I will because we're getting plants in, and I want to get them in the tanks and situated, and it takes a good while. Hey, David B. Crypt Keeper. Cool deal. So we got 42 people in here. That's pretty awesome. Anyways, so yeah, I wanted to show this picture because it's nice to see that, especially because it's Dallas. It's my hometown. My hometown. It to me, it's like duh. Of course, I'm going to be a judge. But the whole time before Grant asked me if I wanted to be a judge, I'm like, please, 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 in the background. I know I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd. Um, so continue. I hit play on Sunday, August 7th. We will do the announcement. The winner that wins best in show gets $250. So that's pretty cool. Um, I considered rock band. No, I used to have an electronic kit though. I wish it's in storage. I need to get that out. That would be okay. Shrimp pickup. There's the information on that. And like I said, whether it's through this video or please, find your way to the website and go get the specific information. If you have any questions, contact Grant or Shelby or Rob at Flip Aquatics. Registration must be completed by August 3rd. So you have basically a week left to do the shrimp contest if you're going to, at least for this Dallas one. And then there'll be another one, I'm assuming, hopefully, in Chicago. And I think that also, I hope that by October I can make it to Chicago. That would be really awesome. I think a lot different people and more people show up or can show up to Chicago because it's closer to a lot of the people that are up there at North. Rock band on expert mode is pretty dang close. Yeah, I know. My sons used to have one, and my son was a real guitar player, but then he'd play rock band, and he was just awesome at it. It didn't matter if it was real guitar, acoustic guitar, electric guitar, or electronic game guitar. He just whatever, dude. Jerry, go ahead and break my heart. The Galaxy fish bones are Neos, aren't they? No, they are not. The Galaxy fish bones are Caridina. They are a they used to be Pintos, basically. Grant knows more specifically, but yeah, they are not Neocaradinas. None of the Neocaradinas will get that kind of patterns to them. Skull. I wish I'd shoot for 3C if I could pick one though. I'd shoot for 3C. What's that? Oh, Triple Crown. Duh. Shows my age, doesn't it? Yeah, and here, look. Let's see. I have Doop doo doo doop doo doo. Let's look at some shrimpies. Doop doo doo doop doo doo. Doop doo doo doop doo doo. I know, I'm a dork. I think I think this is jittery because it's HD. I think this is one of those that's jittery. I didn't encode it. Those are all Caridina. Shoot, that's not it. That's not it. Oh, Jerry, you made my life happier. I might set up a tank and let it season up really well. Oh, yeah, they're awesome. I was trying to see if I had video of them, which I thought I did. I need to get, well, I do have some more updated video. If you haven't caught the video that I did about um, just basically an update that I did since move, I had some pretty good shots of the shrimp. They're doing well. I mean, of course, the transition was rough, and it makes it so hard because I get discouraged sometimes that I had 60 some odd tanks and then had house fire, had to start all over, and then got everything basically started all over, and now I had to tear it down and start all over. So at least this time the shrimp that I had have been, most of them are good. I sold a lot off on that auction, so that kind of depleted my stock a little bit, but I'm working on it. I have more strains now, and we have 16, 15 tanks that we have set up, plus all of the little nano tanks that I'm adding. So that's another 11 tanks, and I'm using up a couple of the 20 gallons. So yeah, it's getting there. Hey, what's going on, Todd? Yeah, X-ray till you're dead. I had a shrimp die and thought I was going to do them all in. Did they end up okay? Yeah, Brandon. When you start over, yes. Each time I've started over, it's been something different that I've done or applied from what I learned. And like going from my first one, especially down in my garage, going from my bedroom, which I had 26 aquariums in that, to the garage. I went in the garage, I did cinder blocks for most of the racks. And then this time I did stands that I built, and I built stands two different ways so I could see which one I liked better. And I like the, what do you call it, where you put the notch in. I like that design better, where it's flush in the front instead of, yeah, I just like it. That's a good dado cut, whatever. But yeah, and so definitely I learned a lot from that. But like even now, doing the nano tanks that I have set up at the shop, all of them right now have no zero, absolute zero filtration in them. It's all plants and mosses. and me doing, I'm taking a little bit of water out, kind of skimming the surfaces and adding new water in as much as possible. Even if it's just a little bit, to where it's like, especially in the 2.5 gallons, half an inch of water is a decent amount. So learning things like that when I build my next one, the way I have my automatic drip systems to top off and refill the tanks, in addition to ways to pull water out and put it back in at a higher rate for an actual water change, if that makes sense. Especially the more aquariums that you have, the harder it is to do it manual. But if you can do it automatic manual type of thing, I don't know if that makes sense. But instead of to where you just put it all on Wi-Fi and sit back and I'm just going to let it all take care of itself, I still think the manual intervention part of it is, and staying in tune with your fish room as a whole, I think that makes a big difference. And I just think it makes a big difference. So that's kind of why I want it to be a automatic but manual type system, to where I can go to the tanks if I have a way to flip a switch, empty out some water without worrying about adding anything to make sure I don't lose any shrimplets, then then turn it off and then fill it back up, while I also have the automatic drip and top off with an overflow. That's what I've learned from the system that we have at Jadwin Aquatics, which I've always been so impressed with the way his systems are set up with the auto top off system. And I call it an auto top off instead of water change, because it depends on the volume of water you're running through there to make it actually change the water. I think with especially evaporation and everything, the tanks just end up being topped off if you have it too low of a rate. And if you have it too high of a rate, yeah, then you're washing your tank out way too much and it's never going to get seasoned, I don't think, the right way. Let's see. Lefty says, I'll never want full automation in the fish room. I want to be able to still service them myself with a little mechanical assist. Yeah, exactly. So that's what I mean by I want it to be, I want the water to be able, like I said, I want to be able to turn it on without having to go and drag a hose over to each individual tank, unless it needs it. If a tank needs that kind of a focus, then yeah, of course. But when you have 70, 100, 200, 300 tanks, how's that going to get accomplished? And yes, I still see myself having 300, 400 aquariums at some point. I do. It's not, I don't know. I see it. I see it. So it's going to happen, right? I'm going to make it happen somehow, some way. I made a water change attachment for pond pump, creates a siphon for me and fills back up. Yeah, see, auto manual makes perfect sense. I get it. Yeah. Yeah, I guess if you do it enough, fish nerds, you get it. You understand. Dragging them hose can get you arrested. Nice, nice, nice. Like with my community tank, I wish I could keep a siphon hooked up that goes through the floor, but with a valve on it so I could turn it on when I need to drain it. Okay, so this is why I have this idea. In this installment of my fish room, the first time I used Python, and it was like a 50-foot Python. And it was nice in my house because, especially in my bedroom, I could drag that thing to any tank and put it right into the bathroom. And then I hook it up to the tub to turn it on. And that's where my RO system and all of my fish stuff was in the tub. I know, I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd. So that's the way that was set up. This, in my previous fish room here, because of what I learned in Arkansas in my temporary stay there, I made like using the RO lines, I made little siphons that had a valve on it. So that way, all I had to do was put the bucket at the bottom and turn it on, and it'd pull the water out at a slow rate. And then since I was putting water in directly from my RO buddy and I would drip it into my tank, then I'd get it at the right rate. So where it changed the water and it pulled the water out and also add new water in. And so that's what started me thinking I want more of an automated type just like this. And yes, it may make it a little bit more upfront, work heavy, high maintenance if I go through and plumb every tank for overflow and for pulling water out. But I think it'd be the most efficient way and have, like I said, an automatic manual type system that does both and keeps me engaged. Crypt Keeper just got home from work, no longer driving. What's up? Now you can type. I have a 60-gallon, not a breeder, but tall, thin show tank. It's yeah, right. And that's the other thing. Like at the shop, that's why when I see 3 rows of tanks, it's like the middle row is perfect, but the top row I got to get up on a ladder, and on the bottom row I got to crouch down or sit on the floor. I'm too old for that. So that's also the way I like, out of all the racks that I built in my last place, the one that was 2 rows, 4 feet tall. And that's where at 4 feet was the top row of tanks. I need to build another, like a canopy to hold lights and stuff like that, instead of the way I had it with the lights just on top. But that's kind of what seems to be the best. I don't have to get on the floor, and I could see them both okay without having to bend over too much. That's getting hard the older I get, just bending over. It's weird. I have 17 tanks. I do all hands on. I use a siphon hose with the bulb and put it into a bucket that has. Yeah. And see, right now at the shop, that's what I'm doing with the nano tanks, is I'll take water out and put it in a container, toss that water, and then I'll fill it back up to the same amount and put that little container up above on the top shelf and run a little drip line in there and have it drip the water in. Works beautifully. Yeah, I've always started to want, well, not always, but more lately, I've wondered about that, how people can get sick, especially if your tank's really foul. If you have cuts and stuff like that, that you can get bad bacteria in your open wounds. Yeah, exactly. Drill a hole right through the floor. That's funny. Bucket and hose, yeah. And in some, in the shop, in the aquariums that aren't at on the overflow, they're just especially the plant tanks, the 40 breeders, those I'm still doing buckets on. And the shrimp tanks, the 10 gallons and the 9-gallon flexes, they're all manual. So I do those with the bucket and the siphon hose. That I still have an appreciation for that, and I always will. But that's why I want automatic and manual, because I do believe that staying engaged is very important, especially if when you have focused projects, whether it's killifish, guppies, any, snails, shrimp, when you start focusing on something, then you have to have you have to stay engaged. You can't just sit back and come back 2 years later and say, oh, look what happened. Just, it doesn't work that way, no matter what, how automatic you try to make it. Comics. Oh yeah, comics, aquariums. Yeah, getting old sucks. But it's good at the same time, right? Made it this long, made it so far, learned a lot, not enough. There's still a lot I want to learn, but unfortunately, I'm a shrimp nerd, and this is the path. And I love it. I know this is what I'm supposed to do because no matter what happens, this is what I end up being the happiest doing. You know, when you love what you do and do what you love, you never work a day in your life. And that's kind of where I'm at. Yes, I do. I need something else because it's very difficult to move when the funds are tight. So yeah, I definitely that's probably something that needs to happen sooner than later as far as having a way to have some additional income to rebuild rebuild and version 3.0, here we go. 4.0, however you want to look at, depending on everything. Let's see. I think you'd like this gizmo I tossed together. Only thing automatic is it creates the suction in the hose and it fills all with using 3 different valves on the hose. Yeah, I get it. I've tried to build, and well, I tried it once. I put it together. I had the wrong size hose for those things that you can just put in it without drilling the tank, the overflows that you can build. But then it was right before the house fire, so it kind of got me distracted. And instead of building something like that in all my tanks, because I knew it was going to be temporary, I just went with something that I thought would get me set up and running as quick as I could. Especially, and I made some mistakes in doing that. So yeah. Yeah, some of these 80s were awesome. They really were. I had fun. I get it. No, like I said, that's why to do something for one tank that you move from tank to tank, been there, done that as well. But I'd love to be able to have everything plumbed. And that's just me. You know, the more and more I do it, the more and more I want to have things plumbed. Even though I have a setup now that has no filtration, nothing plumbed, it's just a bunch of nano tanks. But that's also fun doing too. That keeps me engaged, keeps me busy. Trust me. I really, really, really like the new biostratum. I've had absolutely zero issues with those tanks that I have set up. Immediately putting fish and shrimp in them, zero issues. It's awesome stuff. I'm still I'm kind of surprised that it worked as well as it has. Why you need to pull water out? Can't you just keep a fill system with overflow for water changes? Yes and no. Okay. So if I run a system and I got, let's just say it's 5 aquariums, and I run a system with 5 lines feeding off my pump to fill them up, and then I have an overflow that automatically drains out into wherever, whether it's a sump, whether it's out into the yard, whatever. Okay. And you have that thing filling at a certain rate for whatever period of time. Let's say you run it for an hour between certain period and then run it for another hour for a certain period. So it's putting water in, it overflows. In the system that we have at Jadrin's, it's made me realize with that many tanks feeding off of that reservoir, which in order to keep it full, I have to put water in it every other day, especially in this heat. So that water's coming in the tanks, but I have 70, I think there's 60 some odd tanks that are plumbed in this style. So all of that goes into tanks for about an hour. If I take water out and add to the evaporation, when it pumps for 30 minutes and puts water in all that 1 row or 2 rows or whatever of those tanks, it doesn't necessarily always get them to the point to where they're overflowing. Now that's in that environment. So with that in mind, when I have my system set up, I want to be able to have that type of system that's kind of a top off system, but also a method that if I have an issue with a tank, I can go over there to that tank and turn a valve and it empties that tank out as fast as I need it to, so I can get the water changed if I need it to. You know what I'm saying? Or I can do it slowly or whatever, but I want to be able to have that control over that tank if for whatever reason I need to do a complete faster, much more aggressive water change than just a top off. And I don't want to run my pump that's topping off my tanks 24/7 at a drip rate. I think that's too much work on the pump. But that's just me. Let's see, let's see. That new fluval, have you got any solid stable parameter numbers you like to share? That soil has my interest. Um, I haven't tested it for pH at all. All I've tested it for is for the cycle and TDS because I'm using the animals to tell me otherwise. Everything seems to be it almost just like the bio, the regular stratum so far. I'll know more this week because my okay, I'll fess up. Darn it, man, you called me out. Okay. So I was in the shop and I'm like, doop, 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 doop. I'm going to do some testing of parameters and here get my gauges and my meters and everything. And I'm testing. I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to do this and that. And then I dropped my thing and I'm like, darn it. And I picked it back up. Doesn't work. So then I get my pH meter, which I did all the stuff to where I could set it at the different things and make sure that it's calibrated. And I go to test it and I hit something and I dropped it. It doesn't work. That's why those little sets for $19.99 don't drop them. So yeah, you called me out. I had to admit it. Darn it. No fair, man. Good question. Nice. Well, at least they're all happy and healthy. I want to make a no filter tank, one of those big glass jugs with the flippy spout thing. Hey, there you go. Well, another thing that I always did, to be honest, was use a breeder box to pull the water out and then just drill a hole in the breeder box and run a hose so that way it drains out through that. But that's because I was being real careful about my shrimpies. And that was when I was just being like a mad scientist, drilling holes and everything, buying little containers and using them for crazy stuff. I do that sometimes, and I don't tell anybody because I don't want to, because sometimes it doesn't work. Or sometimes it's like, why all of this when you can just do that? Duh. You know what I mean? Papa Shrimp is a dropper. Yes, I was being spastic. Yes, Tuesday was rough. I didn't get very good sleep. So then getting to work, I noticed I was making some mistakes I probably shouldn't have. I felt I was a little bit off. So yeah, dropped my little dilemma boppers. Let's see. Do you leave chat up on replay? Yeah, I don't normally do. I think. Yeah. I'm kind of worried. I didn't see Brian in here at all. I have to call him, bug him. He's probably working his tail off. I know he was talking about all the stuff with work. Had a lot of stuff going. But anyway, so we've been here for an hour. Y'all have been a blast. I really enjoyed it. It's good seeing everybody. Thank you for everything you've done, mods, all the chats, and the engagement. Grant, appreciate it. Hope I did it justice. If not, correct me. Let me know. Um, I just hope people understand that you can get involved whether you go to Aquashella or not. That's what a really cool part of it. And yes, hopefully I can do a better job of getting some good pictures, just and put together a really good video showing off and showcasing the shrimp that are entered, the contest itself, the organizers, the contestants, and give them some props. And like I said, even if they don't want to talk on camera, with showing their face, we can always use the audio while I use footage of their actual shrimp. I think that'd be really cool. Just all kinds of stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to the contest, and I'm geeked about it. So thanks for joining me. Let me talk about it and geeking out with me. Okay, cool. That'll be cool. See you again next Wednesday. I appreciate all of you being in here. Yeah, and have a good one. See you next Wednesday. Peace. I love shrimp. Wait, one more time to close it out. Why not, right?
I love shrimp. Who else loves shrimp? I love shrimp. Who else loves shrimp?